Is it live? Look, I don't know. Y'all don't know. Welcome to the post-game show.
Let's go!
Meow. Yes, the format of this thing is I'm supposed to have something to say to set you up for the post-game show, the DLLS Cowboys post-game show. But I don't have anything. I don't know, and you don't know. We're just gonna wing it. Welcome to the DLLS Cowboys Podcast, which is on every damn channel. It's on Voch's channel. It's on my channel. It's on the DLLS channel. So if you're watching on a different one, please make sure you also follow youtube.com/@DLLS_sports. And
that wasn't cute, man. That wasn't cute. Every other team, when they're in that situation, right? Boy, it's just smooth sailing. All right, cool. It's first down. We on the 2.
on the one.
On the one. Hey, let's just hand this thing off 3 or 4 times till we get, we got to fumble and make the fight fantastic. No. We got to give them every opportunity to get back in this thing. Hey, look, we won. And Joe, and me and Joe were talking about it. We had 400 or something total yards? But
Yeah.
20 points altogether. Hey, a win is a win, but it is a ugly child, and we are glad y'all are here to tune in with us on the DLLS post-game show. I'm your host, Voch Lombardi, here with Iisha, Morrison, Jeff Cavanaugh, Joe Hoyt. What up, y'all?
Why are you laughing?
Because sports are dumb, right?
Mm.
If the last play of the game was an incomplete pass, the whole Metroplex mood is so different.
Depressed.
Like, don't get me wrong. Everybody's still going to be, like, we're going to point out all of the stuff about this team where it's like, hey, they didn't even really want to win. Like, there's a lot that we're going to point out about this team. But if the very last play is different, literally everyone's mood is so different, and it's just hilarious.
If it would have gone bad at midnight, we would be wanting to tear stuff up, a bunch of fire this guy, get this guy out of here. I never want to see Prescott again. I never want to see Mike McCarthy again. But, hey, if you get a really tough catch,
Yeah.
on 4th down, 7 yards away when it could have been 1 yard away.
Yeah.
Hey, man, it's no longer nonsense. It's theater now. It's sports theater.
Dak had to recover Rico's fumble before he won the game.
To be fair, that was Troy Polamalu came out of retirement to make that play.
Such a stupid game.
I couldn't believe it.
Clearly.
He was flying.
Yeah, the red zone issues were just
So dumb.
I mean, Doug, like they just killed it in between the 20s, just moving the ball, doing some things, and then they got to the red zone and it was like football.
It's weird.
What's that?
It's after midnight.
Never seen her.
Katya, can you hit me the super chats real quick? I want to knock a couple of those because one of them has a point that I want to get to. Vance Williams is in here. 2 picks, 20 picks. I don't care. Talk nice about Rain Dakota. Jay Litt. Will Jerry pay for more players now?
Nope.
Matthew, that was somehow the best and worst of wins. I hate this team. Credit to Zim and the D. Trevon, if we are going to kill 4, if they lost, we have to praise him for fighting back. And Thomas, winning is fun. Shout out to Dak for striking all night. Stinking all night. And then not when it mattered the most, go team. And Larry said, no easy button, 4-4-4-4. So here's the thing. I am a Dak Prescott. According to some, I'm a realist. Like I watch the sport and I watch the other quarterbacks. And so I realize that you have a really good one and that's cool. And so when it's time to pay him, you pay him, et cetera, et cetera. But some would call me a Dak homer. And I will tell you.
That's me.
For maybe the first time ever, let me get to my exact notes. Because I typed this up when the Cowboys had the ball on the last drive.
What'd you say?
Beginning or middle or end?
This was 2-minute warning.
Okay, what you got?
I said, well, it's a 2-minute warning, somewhere around the 30, 17-13 Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Dak has had some massive mistakes in this game. Like I just do stream of consciousness notes to myself.
Yeah.
I've never been, you make this much, so you should, or this thing is the most important guy.
For sure.
But this spot feels very important. He has hurt them at times today, played well at times today, and makes $60 million. This is a bad team. Everyone on your team is hurt. And yet, you have the ball to win the game. This is where you are a $60 million player.
Sure.
And I don't usually do that sort of stuff, but that's the way I felt in that moment was, now go win it.
Yeah.
This is what you have to do if you are who I think you are.
Yeah.
And he went and did it.
And we had that conversation the other day. I think Jesse actually said that. He was like, this is the game where if you're going to say that terminology, this is where you see him show up. And he did in the last few minutes.
To that point, though, right? I want to ask everybody here, everybody in our chat. I just got like a big picture question, right? I think it depends on what you think about Pittsburgh because
they're not good.
That's my point, though, Jeff. Like, if this was San Francisco, everything was the same thing, but you copy and paste San Francisco. I'm running in the streets with my shirt off. Because that's a boogeyman team that you're overcoming something, right?
And you're looking good these days, so you want to take that shirt off.
Oh, man, Voch is slimming down for sure.
Yeah.
But, you know, if you feel bad, it's probably because you feel like Pittsburgh's not a good team and you probably should have beat the hell out of that team, but you barely skated past that team. So I think we have to like ask, hey, what do you think about Pittsburgh and how does that make you feel about what you did to them today?
The other thing about that, though, is like, I don't know if it's even so much about Pittsburgh or just the fact that if you look at these next 3 games, I said from the beginning of this week, they got to go 1-2 in these next 3 games to have any chance of the playoffs. And to go off Jesse's point earlier, too, I thought in order to win at least one of those games, Dak Prescott would have to put the team on his back. Ironically, he had to do that tonight after kind of putting them in that position himself with a couple bad turnovers, a fumble where he just didn't have a good time clock. But they had to win one of the next 3 games. They've already got that out of the way. I think no matter what happens the next 2 weeks, they've got a shot in a large part because of what Dak Prescott did tonight.
Oh, and in fairness, like to Voch's point, this is a good defense. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I understand that, you know, some people might look at this win as there's so many things we're going to dissect once we get into the film and everything. But holy crap, the Dallas offensive line was getting their tail whooped for the greater part of this game. Sure. They figured some things out once they did some lineup changes. You saw some things kind of open up. They did some things in the run game. They went combo and duo. They found some things moving the ball, running the ball that I think helped. But when you talk about going up against a defense like this is a smash mouth defense, man. It's not an easy feat to just go out there and beat them. They threw some things at you. And so for them to even get the movement that we saw between the 20s, terrible in our zone, I was still impressed with that. And that's probably all that I'm going to take from this game.
I like how Dak decided to throw a touchdown to Rico from the 22 so that they didn't have to go in the red zone.
No red zone.
I thought that was a good plan.
It was smart.
And I will go back to, I don't think Pittsburgh's a good team. I think when they were they 3-0 or were they 2-0?
Yeah, they were 3-0 and have lost 2 in a row.
Yeah. They weren't a good team. They're a fake good team. Even when they were 3-0, they weren't a good team. And they're still not a good team. But I guess it just depends on how you're viewing the season. If you are the Cowboy fan who just already was just like, look, this team's not good enough. We're not going anywhere. I'm ready to tank in week 3 or week 4. I want you to know that I understand you. I love tanking in sports. I love it. But if you're of the opinion that there's a bunch of young dudes on this team that throughout the course of the season can get better and you want to stay in it, you want to make the playoffs, and you want to see where this thing can end up, then you had to win this game however you won this game. And it's a road game against a good defense without your top 4 defensive ends.
Say it.
Like, without your 2 of your top 4 cornerbacks. Like, they were shorthanded as hell. The quarterback made a couple of giant mistakes. Sure. And you won on the road to keep, in my mind, your season alive.
Right.
Sure.
And San Francisco lost Arizona today. Seattle lost to the Giants. Long story short, a lot of teams can lose to bad teams. And even no matter what the Steelers are, the Cowboys still prevailed and walked out of there with a crucial win.
I just want to say we got 2,500 people watching us live right now.
Let's go.
Appreciate y'all, whatever platform that you're watching on. Can we get 4s, water, flames in the chat? Can we get nose wipes and lambs in the chat? Can we get robotic legs in the chat for Brandon Aubrey because he's still the best player on offense? And Rico Dowdle, we don't know what he is right now,
but
we
we gonna
have
do for Rico. What's his
just a dude running because we got a run game now.
What about an eggplant?
Why? For what? No.
For who,
no.
for what?
For what? Why?
For who,
I'ma
for
push
what?
Why, Jeff?
I'm
Hold
gonna
on, wait,
push
time
you
out.
down to
Why,
the
Jeff?
ground.
For what?
What do you mean why?
Why?
I'ma
But
take out
why?
one of
But
your
why
knees.
Puerto Rico? What that mean?
Well, just because I think
Why
that it's-
specifically Rico?
Well, I think it's a great emoji, and I think that it's
For what? For Rico.
okay.
12-19.
Because Rico damn near had a 100-yard game and let it hang.
He
Whoa!
He did have over 100 yards.
Career highs.
I didn't know. I got backed into a corner and I didn't know how to get out of it.
I got you.
Career
I
highs.
got
Let me
your
say
back.
this.
I
Let
was
me say
just
this.
making
got
a
your
throwaway
back.
joke, and then I got stuck.
Offensively, though, right? Can I say this? True or false? Am I right or wrong?
Mhm.
First of all, I'm upset because everything that we did on offense that I feel like was a step up from what we did week 1 through 4, I feel like we had the capabilities of doing that all the time. We saw a lot of motion today, a lot of orbit, a lot of
Yes.
sprint, a ton of exit, right? And that made me mad. I'm like, hey, we could have done this week 1. But what makes me upset is that if we would have done it week 1, we would be in like week 5 form of that. So now we're in week 5. Maybe it takes a couple more weeks for us to not look so rusty doing those things, or not to, miss wide open things, or to not get like penalties that like kill us in that way. Like, is that true or false? We just look rusty doing those things. Because as soon as we
I
start
think
back
it looks
doing that,
fine.
as soon as we start back doing that,
No, I think it looked good doing.
I-
it.
we are right back to a 300, 400 yard offense.
I agree. I mean, as far as I do think that it did take you some time. I feel like your offensive line had a lot to do with that. I don't know how many pre-snap penalties there were this game in regards to the
Couple of-
offensive
I mean, they
line.
definitely had
One
2
or
in a
two.
row at one point, but one of those was CD.
But
Yeah.
the motion and everything that you're talking about, we even got to see some bunch formations. We got to see some mesh.
Tempo.
We got to see some rub routes. But the tempo was stupidly placed.
It was
when
up
they
and
went
down.
tempo,
Mhm.
there were times they should have been maybe reviewing plays. But to your point, I don't care. I understand what you're saying. I
Mhm.
don't care.
Sure.
I'm happy to see it
Sure.
because now you have film to say, okay, this works.
You
I
can
think
fix it.
our coaching staff, for some reason, just need to see, they need
Yeah.
confirmation on top of confirmation on top of confirmation.
I also think if you look at the timing from last year to this year, and then we talked about this last week, like why didn't you just kind of pick up where you left off, right? You're going into year 2,
That's my point.
accelerate
Yeah,
it,
that's
right?
a good point.
But if you look at the timing from last year to this year, 5 weeks into last year, they were struggling offensively. They were bland. They were vanilla. They weren't doing anything. Then CD kind of erupted, and they had to open him up.
Yeah, it's a tradition.
I was going to say maybe
Yeah.
there's a time. There's a
tradition.
install period. There's a development to it, and there shouldn't be.
It's called camp.
But in fairness,
There shouldn't be, but
But
for some
CD wasn't
reason,
there. We had to wait for him.
but I
that's
wouldn't
true.
say that. I mean,
Mm.
he does.
Mm.
He is an intricate part of your offense, and half of what you do, because the reason why Tolbert, I'm sure we're gonna go back and look at the film, but the reason why Tolbert was able to do a lot of stuff he did was because they're over here rolling coverage to CD Lamb. We gotta go see. But I will say, this is not just a Cowboys thing, though. Getting going, like we're seeing this through offenses in the NFL in general,
Yeah.
with the lack of preseason period. I
Offense
felt like
erupted this week.
Yeah.
Literally.
it just this
Literally.
week, and that's what we talked about on pregame. We were talking about the fact that we're starting to see teams be like, okay, your offense is kind of good, your defense isn't that great, but we got a good grasp of everything. So I do think that there is something to be said about there being kind of an acclimation period in the NFL now, because preseason is 3 weeks and nobody trying to play guys like that no more.
them super chats be popping.
Yeah, we have a lot of super
Oh, we
chats
gotta-
popping, so let's
They be
knock some.
Let's
popping.
Let's hit some. Let's hit some. Voch, you want to hit some?
Yeah.
You
Go
want
ahead,
to
Ryan.
I
Appreciate
read
y'all.
one.
I can't see.
Yeah,
Dak has 3 turnovers and we win because defense held it down. Jeff, I think that's a fantastic point. A couple of weeks ago, we were saying, hey, can we get our defense to just buy us some time on offense? And I love the fact that we went into the fourth quarter and the other team didn't have 40 points on the board. So I was very grateful for my defense with that.
without most of your good
Damn
players.
straight. And the ends
Yeah.
played good.
Like, and we need to get into
Well,
that.
we'll
There's
definitely
a lot we
talk
gotta
about
get
that,
into.
yeah.
That's part of it.
We'll get into it.
Yeah.
Supers, we'll get back into
Yeah,
it.
rip a few of them.
A win, but Big Mike gotta give
Give
up
him the
his
playbook.
playbook ASAP.
I don't agree. I thought he was. Look, I thought he
His
did.
playbook is fine. He just got to run the right stuff
Yeah.
immediately.
There's some pages that need to burn.
He just don't. He get to the bad.
We
stuff.
can edit
He
the
doesn't
playbook.
get to chapter 2 until week 5.
Okay, we can keep on running. This
We
what
need
happens
some-
when Dallas
we
doesn't
need
give up
some-
on the run. Facts. Appreciate you, Shaq. Go ahead. We can run it.
Well, if you can run.
Monson Musa says, "What did CD say to Dak? Are you having chemistry issues?
Don't know, but I hope we find
They
out.
just turned the ball over. They mad. They upset.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, Vander, just dropping $1 for the love. Salute. Randy just dropping the $5 for the love. Appreciate you, sir. And Lost in Translation. What up, Gerard? He says, shouts out to the young guys for stepping up and showing off. Way to play fast and hard. 1, 2, 3, 4.
What?
Okay,
it was the numbers of guys.
That's 120.
Lipke, Dowdle,
Gotcha.
Jalen Tolbert. Yeah.
Randy came back and says, can't forget Ford going opposite of Cam Newton and driving for the fumble. For
That's
sure.
facts. Yeah.
For sure.
I can't believe that play happened.
GM Ben.
GM
From
Ben.
upstairs. Okay, cool.
Oh, yeah,
GM
yeah,
Ben.
look at
Appreciate you, Ben. 100%. Making sure the super chats work. They do. What else we got?
Dak was the reason we won the game, but he's also the reason it was close.
Hey, a win is a win is a win. Appreciate you.
We're
Don't
gonna
see
take
black.
it. We're gonna take it.
And Alex says, dear chat, that game was art, and if you didn't enjoy watching it, you need help. That's a lie. I was upset.
I'm not the sicko here. You are.
I mean, we were upstairs, and I told Iisha and Voch, they're gonna win.
He was
It's
very
fine.
confident. He's like,
They're gonna win.
yeah.
3,000 people watching live. Appreciate
No,
y'all
man.
at damn midnight 30. Go ahead, Joe. You was about to say something about the young guys stepping
Oh,
up?
yeah, no,
Talking about the super chat.
Oh, yeah,
we
we'll
need to carry
get to it. We'll
things.
get
We
to it.
got
We'll
to
get to
carry
it.
things over. So we'll talk about the young
We're gonna-
guys stepping
okay, my
up.
fault.
There are just a few more things on offense that I want to talk about too.
Hell yeah.
And so all of those things will be coming up next on the Cowboys DLLS podcast of postgame.
There was a moment where you guys were jumping. You were getting loud. You were putting your feet on the ground. There was some crazy stuff. And guess what? That is some Empire flooring you guys were jumping on. Okay.
That's why it held up so well.
That's why it held up so well. Empire today, you can shop at your convenience. They got this thing called a virtual floor designer. I always talk about it with Game Time, about how you get to know before you go. How about with your flooring, you get to know exactly what you're doing. You get to design it. You get to tailor it. You get to have your own playbook with Empire, okay? You get to call them own plays. Yeah, Empire's philosophy is to help find whatever you need, not overwhelm you with thousands of choices and substitutes. This is about you. When they leave out the selection, it's as important as what they put in. They pride themselves on their convenient shop-at-home service. I mean, I can do this all day. I could just do this all day, to be honest with you, and that could be the ad read itself. Schedule a free in-home estimate today, and all listeners can receive $350 off that kind of discount when they use the promo code DLLS. Reminder, it's $350 off a discount when they use the promo code DLLS. Restrictions apply. See EmpireToday.com/DLLS for details.
All right, guys, make room for me now. Ahem. They say first impressions are important. What about lasting impressions? That's where Blue Chew comes in. Blue Chew helps give men longer lasting and stronger erections. So you can perform at your very best. It's an online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, but at a fraction of the cost and in a chewable form. Process is simple. BlueChew.com.
Yeah.
Consult with one of their. You don't have to say that. Consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive that prescription within days. The best part, it's all done online. No visits to the doctor's office. No awkward conversations. No waiting in line in a pharmacy. Does it work?
That's hard, man.
Don't think you need it?
Yeah.
Try it free for a month and see. You're going to love it. Your partner's going to love it. Yeah, you can try it free for a month. You just pay shipping as long as you use the code ALLCITY at checkout. Special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew free. Use our promo code ALLCITY at checkout. $5 shipping. That's BlueChew.com. Promo code ALLCITY to receive your first month free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. We thank Blue Chew for being part of this.
Get what you need.
Yeah, what you need.
It is important to perform.
Yep.
As the Cowboys know and did, kind of, sort of, sometimes, and just enough.
Just enough.
Offense was a little flaccid, you know what I'm saying? But they overcame it. You know? But they overcame it.
They had ups and downs.
You know what I'm saying?
It's time for the Empire Today Impact Player of the Game.
Oh.
Dysfunction, you know?
You guys want to vote on the Empire Today Impact Player of the Game?
It's like kind of four and kind
Nah,
of
we
Rico.
can just say who it is, who we think.
You say kind of Ford, kind of Rico?
Yeah.
What about kind of one?
It's Jalen Tolbert, no?
What about kind of one?
I mean, you know, I guess. What's the numbers? What's Jalen Tolbert numbers?
He was the leading receiver on the Dallas Cowboys, sir. He went 7 for 87 and a tutty.
Oh,
I think on 10 targets, too, so consistent.
Led the team in targets. CD gonna lose his damn mind.
Gonna cuss. Gonna cuss. I like Rico, man. I think Rico like
20 for
bailed you out of
87.
a lot of stuff, man.
And he finally took CD out.
Yeah.
Since week 1, the longest rush of the Cowboys season had been CD, and it was 12 yards. Rico had a 13.
He reset that mark multiple times tonight.
New record.
Yeah.
Who's yours, friend?
I'm Yeah, Jalen Tolbert.
don't matter.
Yeah,
okay,
I don't
I'm
know.
gonna let you go, Tolbert. I
Yeah.
got a different guy.
Okay. How about Jake Ferguson played tough? I don't know.
I'm gonna go with Tyler Smith
Okay.
because what
that's
would
good.
you do without him?
Herbig ate him up too.
You got a little
Dude, Herbig ate everyone.
Herbig ate him up too.
He went out the game. No one cares. But no, seriously.
Herbig is the impact player of the game. Is that dude Herbig?
Because
Because
when
once
he
went
left,
out, we could block their pass rushers.
I'm sorry, but I'm just saying, like, what would you do without Tyler Smith in that situation?
Quit?
Being able to kick on left tackle, kick to left
Forfeit?
tackle.
I'd just be mad.
That pocket got a lot cleaner for the rest of the game. With respect,
I would
there was
just
a big deep ball to Jalen Tolbert that Tyler Smith handled Herbig on. It was like the one time that happened.
Yeah, you
but
would forfeit if you didn't have him.
yeah,
but also too, the guy is literally sliding to tackle in the middle of a game
That's
when he's
big.
been playing guard.
It's
yeah.
major.
So what would you do without him? That is my player of the game, and he's
Right.
probably going to play tackle next week.
I'm very curious to see if that's what they end up.
They should trade for
Doing.
Tyron Smith.
I'm just gonna
Jason Peters is
And
on the
Amari
Seahawks
Cooper?
practice squad. I'm telling you.
What if they traded for Tyron Smith, Amari Cooper, Jonathan Hankins,
Dante Fowler.
They're not going to let Hank.
That's
Dorrance
fancy
Armstrong?
football.
and a running back.
That's fancy football.
Well,
Right.
one of the guys we just named is your Empire Today Impact Player of the Game. Schedule free and home estimate today. All listeners can get a $350 discount. Use the promo code DLLS. Restrictions apply. See EmpireToday.com/DLLS for details. Okay. Other offensive stuff, and you know how we do.
Yeah.
You can take things wherever you want to, but
Let's
there's
go.
one that I wanted to sneak in.
Okay.
Okay.
There's one that I wanted to sneak in.
Want to QB sneak?
No,
Is it-
I mean I just had a choice, but please, you got it.
So there's one I wanted to sneak in.
Cool.
I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
Let me start with this.
Okay.
I'm saying this with all due respect.
Oh Lord.
I don't know where you're
The
going.
disclaimer.
I'm very
Tyler,
curious.
No.
the,
Well, we can do that
We
too.
can talk.
I would also start that with all due respect.
yeah, the disclaimer.
With all due respect, I think many veterans are important for leadership of position groups.
Oh,
And I
that's
think
it.
Brandon Cooks has a lot to offer
Mm.
young men on this football team.
Mm.
I wanted more Cavante Turpin 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. That's an upgrade.
Sure.
Cavante Turpin is an upgrade from Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks is supposed to be a speed guy that brings juice to the offense. The guy who's playing instead of him actually brings that.
Yeah.
More Turpin.
Mhm.
And it's better because if he's actually playing snaps, then you have to respect the bits that he does. Like
Yeah.
if he's just coming in to
100%.
run
Yeah.
across the formation,
You have to respect.
whatever. Like,
Yeah.
right? Okay, here comes the bit guy. Be ready for this.
Blinking light.
When
Yeah.
he's actually playing football,
Right.
then he gets to do all of these different things. And I was happy with what Cavante Turpin did. That's
Mhm.
all. I just want to say that was an upgrade.
he
I
showed us in
was too.
training camp that he could be a multifaceted player.
That was all.
Yeah.
That was all.
No, I agree. I mean, what he had the seam ball. He did some things out the backfield today. They got him some balls like going, attacking the edges and getting him out in space. This is a lot of speed option stuff that we were running to see with Brandon Cooks. We were wondering why we weren't seeing it with Brandon Cooks. And now, who they play next week?
Detroit Lions.
Detroit Lions.
Detroit gonna be like, hey man,
We own Detroit.
that little number 9. Like that's what I wanted to take out of this game, to your point, is the fact that, now defenses are going to say,
Mhm.
hey, that number 1 dude
Yeah.
might not be able to just leave him open like that. Hey, that number 9, to your point, they got to respect what he's doing at the line of scrimmage motion-wise, and it should open things up. I hate that it takes injury for you to do smart things.
Yeah, it's tough.
I hate that it takes...
You wanted to bench Brandon Cooks?
I hate...
Mm.
I was,
I
to a
was
point-
ready.
Well, because I know you. we kind of butt heads at the beginning of the season,
Uh-huh.
but now, like when I was looking at the tape, I'm like, he's not smooth out of his releases. He's not stopping on a dime like we saw him even in training camp. So it was like,
You thought I was lying to you?
no, I didn't think he was lying.
You
I
wanted,
needed
you wanted
a little
piece
bit.
of
I
this?
gotta gather some information.
Okay.
I'm an
Well,
analyst.
he was
I
also
need
clearly
patterns.
he was also clearly hurt. Now we know in hindsight.
Now we know.
Or
Yeah,
hurting
for a
because
fact.
you're not getting injections like that constantly. If you're
So maybe that could be a positive where if he's, we could say the reason he didn't have juice is he was hurting. And
Yes.
if you get him back in a
Routine.
month, maybe he's a better version than what we saw.
How do y'all feel about the fact that it takes somebody saying "ouch," like you say,
Yeah.
for us to get Cavante Turpin involved and it opened up this offense?
I think Mike gets nervous, and I think
Blue chew.
ever since
I was worried
that's
Dak got
crazy.
nervous when he dirtballed that one in the
Oh,
back of the
yeah,
end zone. I
He
was like,
dirt
"Don't you-"
himself.
I was like, don't you do this, Dak. I talked too good about you. You better. That's why I was so confident he was going to complete it on 4th. because I couldn't have that.
I think since the beginning of time, it's always been this fight of seniority and the better dude. It's always been this fight. So, yeah, Brandon Cooks may be the established name and the leadership and all that, but there's clearly a young guy that's better. And we had this fight for a couple of weeks with Zeke, and no disrespect to Zeke, but there's two young guys that's clearly better than him, 40 and 23 now. So now we're just seeing less and less of Zeke. So, hey, you know, I can respect the idea that the young guys are stepping up when Brandon Cooks goes out. What would really hurt me, and we'll see, I'm not going to say nothing yet, but if Brandon Cooks just comes back
and gets his spot
and that slows down what Tolbert is doing or that slows down what Turpin is doing, two athletes that are clearly better than him right now, I would be upset at this coaching staff and this administration because seniority won there, and I hate that.
You guys ready to do that at safety?
I'm sick of both the safeties.
Boy,
dude, Malik Hooker's got the yips right now.
He was holding on to Pickens' ankle after he gave up 12 yards after the catch, and then Donovan Wilson decided to hit him late for no reason.
Yeah.
Bro, Malik Hooker was a ball hawk, and he hasn't had hands the last few weeks.
He's dropped 2 picks.
He's dropped
in a row.
multiple picks.
I'm good on trying some new, which is wild because we did overall. We're talking about a really good defensive performance while massively undermanned. And I'm like, can we change out the safeties?
I will say, Justin Fields also.
He's bad.
He's not. Yeah, he did not have a good night. And I said, whatever the opposite of making a business decision is, that's what Justin Fields was doing over and over again. When he tried to run over, go head up, and do an Oklahoma drill with Chauncey Golston, I was like, bro, what are you doing? Like, that's going to lead you. That's bad.
Yeah.
And it didn't work out for him.
No.
It didn't work out for Justin a lot tonight.
No, it's bad play.
Speaking of, I don't know if we're going to transition to it or not, but, you know, we talked about some of the guys stepping up on the defensive end.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, Chauncey Golston and Tyrus Wheat.
They just kept making plays.
They played the run in a way that it was just so sound. They set their feet. They sure tackled. I mean, I think the play that we got from the edges today was kind of what you're okay with it, no? And it also allowed Zimmer to do some of the stuff, you know, bring in some of the blitzes and things like that. We saw them blitz off the edge. We saw them blitz the linebackers. Like, I was impressed with their ability to get pressure today, despite the fact that they were down a lot of guys.
And that's what really hurts about Marshawn Nealon being hurt, because he made a couple of plays. And I was like, all right, Marshawn. And, you know, sometimes you need games like this to take your own game to the next level, right? Just as a young guy, like, hey, man, I just made a couple plays in a row. I'm good now. Let me do this. Same for Mozzie, right? Oh, I made a couple of plays in a row. I just whooped John Michael Smith last week. Let's have a good game now. Yeah. So for Marshawn Nealon to have a couple of plays, I think he made like 2 plays in the first 5 plays or something like that. For him to go down and get hurt on a play that he was making, you know, so now that kind of sets him back. I don't know how hurt he is. We'll find out later, I guess. But
I don't want to recklessly speculate, but it was a non-contact knee injury.
It didn't look
when you're
good.
declared out that quick in a game, it's usually not a good sign.
All right, I'm saying.
I'm just saying it was a non-contact. That's all I'm saying. Non-contact knee injury.
But I was just really encouraged that we're down many ends right now. And old man Shaq Lawson was fine. Tyrus Wheat was
Carl.
fine.
It will never be Shaq. It will always be Carl.
Carl Lawson, Tyrus Wheat, and Shaq Lawson, they played some fine football.
Also Diggy Zua.
Yeah.
Really strong game from him. Maybe his best game of the season so far. Saw him getting a lot of penetration, getting into the backfield. His motor was on display. I mean, we just can't talk that much more about this defensive line and what they were able to do. However, gentlemen, question. When was the last time the Cowboys had in-depth be this non-existent? Like this feels...
Never.
I've never experienced seeing something like this.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Where are we?
Jeremy Mincy was your best pass rusher once upon a time.
I would love some Jeremy Mincy right now.
George Selvey was a dude.
I need Selvey right now.
Yeah.
If Nealon is hurt, hurt. Even though we like what we saw tonight, it's about that time, bro, man.
Oh, no.
It's been that, yeah.
It's insane to be down your top 4 at a position group. Sure. And that's what the Cowboys are going to be.
I want to throw
the top 4.
And there are some good old lines on the way.
And they were already thin to begin with.
Yeah,
on the defensive line. Like, it's not like this was like a vast rotation.
Trying to fill a roster basically the last week of camp.
Smalls HD says, give old man Linval Joseph some props.
He made a play.
He did a thing one time.
He did one thing.
And boy, I screamed that one time when he did. I wanted him to keep doing it, but he didn't.
That's kind of, that's very much like the people who thought that, with all due respect, I love and respect you all, and I think you have great football minds. The people who thought that like Zeke was still good, he could have a play where there was a hole and he made a decent cut, and they're like, "Told you."
I haven't seen a thing from the Zeke people that was fighting us week 1, Joe. But it's all right.
It's all right. Clarence got a burner account?
Is a
DeMar
major
Overshown is a major force.
Mr. Talk Too Much. Pop.
Yeah.
Profile pic and everything.
Yeah.
Overshown's fun. Like I'll be very interested to watch as Overshown keeps going and keeps going. Because right now I feel like he's very much when you know exactly where that running back has to go and there is no escape, he gonna get there in a hurry and break that man.
For sure.
Yeah.
Outside of that, it's a little bit of wee.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Can I sneak one more offensive thing though before we get off the offensive hype?
do whatever you want.
Please.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Do whatever you
I'm
want.
just gonna do it.
It's midnight 30.
It's after midnight. I think that like an episode of Succession. I think the committee's over. I think end it. I think Rico Dowdle is the lead back.
I
It was
beg
over
of
in
thee.
camp.
Yeah, it's been over. I mean, they've been saying, hey, we need to see more carries, blah 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 blah. But I think actions speak louder than words. Tonight, you saw the first action of no more committee.
Hold on.
Rico Dowdle in a
hold
leading
on.
in a leading role.
The guy in the chat had a great point,
What I'm saying?
What do you say?
but it wasn't a super chat, so he doesn't get any credit for it. So I'm just going to kind of
Tell him
take
what-
it my own
what
way.
is
You can pay for it and get credit.
Because here's the thing.
What is that?
You tried to make the Empire impact player of the game the guy who fumbled on the one and almost lost the game.
But that was a Super Saiyan Troy Polamalu play. I think it's more credit there.
You tried to give it to.
No.
He had a good game.
I think Rico's ability to make the run game somewhat relevant helped the passing game for him.
100%.
Yeah, because
For sure.
they dropped out of that cover 2.
Yeah.
They dropped
had
out
to.
of that cover 3. It
had
wasn't
to.
working either.
And we finally got to get Cedia ball again after the first quarter.
We
Once they went
finally
back to
got-
having to play one safety,
We
they
gotta
were
stop
like,
doing
we
that.
can throw a hitch
We've
to
got to
Cedia.
stop doing it. Joe, let me ask you a question, man.
Mm-hmm.
So actually everybody, I just looked at Joe because he was last. And y'all too, chat. So Rico is running back 1.
Yes.
Jeff had a theory. Is Lipke running back 2 now?
Sure.
I think
Oh,
so.
for sure.
And I think we also, and you touched on this, I think we're opening up the path to Dalvin Cook also joining the group.
That was next.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a hot tease for the next segment.
bro,
I was gonna make
Barnacles.
I was going to be a hot tease about a prediction.
my
My
fault.
prediction is that you're going to have Zeke have a fake injury and Dalvin Cook's playing next week.
You gotta stop saying that.
Well, it's a fake injury.
You're gonna
so
tell him to say. They gonna tell him to say.
Ah. You're going to say ah.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, his shoulder, knee,
He's going to go to the Jordan
groin,
Phillips School of
hammy. Yeah, he's going to go hang out with Jordan Phillips in the cafeteria.
Every time Zeke was on the field, I didn't feel comfortable about it. You know, and
We
and
ducked.
no, real talk, and Zeke's thing is like running up A gap, like that's his thing. But when we make Zeke do the other things, is when I get really upset. Like there was this buck sweep where we put Zeke out in open space.
Dak
I'm like,
did that.
damn, why are we doing that?
Dak did
Or we have plenty running backs that can catch the football, and Zeke is out there running routes and ducking
When he ducked.
Dak
He
throws
ducked
it
the
at him.
ball.
He ducked.
What are we doing?
He ducked the ball. But the reason I think it because we've known all along that where he is as a player now, but even their use of him in this game, 3rd and 1, Lipke run, 3rd and 1. Now they did have him in on 1, but that was just he was already on the field and they happened to get to a 3rd and 1.
Yeah.
But start of the 4th quarter, coming out of a TV timeout, 3rd and 1, Rico Dowdle, not
Yeah.
Zeke. Goal line for ball game, Hunter Lipke in front of Rico Dowdle.
Yeah.
If Zeke is not the 3rd and 1 running back, Zeke has no job on this team.
Yeah.
I think Dalvin Cook plays next week.
And
And,
remind-
they just see if he has anything, and he may have nothing, and maybe it's just Lipke and Rico, whatever. But I think that I did, and I don't know. It's just a bold prediction that Zeke might be hurt. He might be hurt.
Reminder of what Clarence, by the way, reported this week, too, from talking with Dalvin, that Dalvin was getting practice with the first team in practice. That
Yeah.
this ramp up is over. It's a matter of when, not if. And to your point, it kind of feels like we're getting close to when.
And he might have got called up if you didn't have to call up other guys
Yeah.
because of your lack of depth. What is this gentleman's name? I don't want to butcher it. Imani.
Oh, Rory.
Ayo.
Owurari.
Ayo.
Ayo.
I could be tripping.
We said Ayo.
I could be tripping,
His name's Ayo.
but pretty sure he was pretty decent in coverage today. I can't wait to go
I
back
ain't gonna
and
say
look.
all that. I gotta watch film first.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess that was
I
Justin
mean,
Fields.
people, no,
He
people,
tackled good.
people that I
He
trust,
can tackle.
people that we trust tweeted about him. I have to go back and look, but
I
I,
don't
mean,
trust
he didn't give
anybody.
up much.
I don't
Yeah, you know
trust
Justin
anybody.
Fields.
I think that was Justin Fields.
Justin
You don't
Fields.
trust
I
anyone?
mean, Justin Fields
I think it
was
was
Terry
Jared Goff
Blake
gonna
today.
find his ass. They gonna find him.
Yeah.
I can say ass,
Mi-
like find his ass in a row like that.
Hopefully you have-
Jared Goff gonna find
Hopefully
his
you
ass.
have
Mr.
Casey
Perfect,
Kalen
by the
Carson
way.
back next week, but we'll see.
You know you're allowed to say it, and you keep asking, which I think is a good bit.
It's
'Cause it's funny.
context. It's context. Because you can say the B word,
Yeah.
but you can say it like as a noun. You can say it as a verb, like I'm being about something.
Yeah.
You can't call somebody one.
No
Right.
big
You wouldn't
word.
want to call somebody that, but
So
you can
context
bitch about
matters.
some stuff though.
Ask the school in general?
Yeah. However,
All right,
just don't talk
100%.
about the actions.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't
Oh,
do what
boy.
Clarence did.
I'm gonna
man.
find a way to get us canceled over ass.
Thank you for everybody that's here. I don't know.
All right, let's run through
Voch
the supers real
can
quick.
check how many people are watching us live right now. Make sure
3,300.
if you're on
Oh.
Voch's channel, if you're on my channel, that's great, and we love you. Thank you so much, and thank you for your super chats. Thank you for hanging out with us. Also, please follow youtube.com/@DLLS_sports, where we do a show
We do.
day, pretty much.
Erde.
Day,
Oh,
pretty
sure.
much.
In the morning.
Rock a few Voch. Yeah, we'll be here tomorrow morning.
Let's
We're
see
insane.
what we got here. Kilabrado says Rico and the running back group won this game despite the garbage quarterback we have. But that's a lie.
Rico fumbled on the one.
That's what I'm saying. I was
And
the
then Dak
most
threw
sick.
the touchdown.
I was the most sick at the Rico turnover. Well, it wasn't a turnover, but the Rico fumble or whatever. Like, chill out.
Bro, that play was incredible.
GM Ben from upstairs, he says, hey Iisha, I won 3 sleeper picks tonight. Shouts out to you.
I got to tell you, I would have won a lot of sleeper picks tonight, but I also had some faith that the Steelers were going to run the ball well.
Oh, please.
And Justin Fields and Najee Harris, y'all did not.
Wait, what did they average?
Ben is
Did I beat Jesse?
Ben, you're antagonizing me, and I
You might
don't
have.
appreciate it.
Solid Duck says, football is a dirty, ugly game played by imperfect, sweaty men. Rejoice in the... I can make this bigger.
This
cat.
footballiest of football
win.
wins.
Make it a little big. I can't see. My bad. Yeah. A little bit. Let's see. Brian says,
Oh, that one's small.
would switching Guyton to left guard? No. And Smith, the left tackle, allow Guyton to... No.
No,
Because
see, because when you're not, that's not good.
Guyton's
not
already
gonna
tall and long, and Guyton's having problems with like power. And you don't want to put him where the powerful dudes are.
And
not
until
about
the
to do
little
that.
good pass rusher got hurt, Tyler Smith was in
Herbig.
trouble at left tackle too.
Bro.
You want him playing left guard, and you need to find a left tackle.
I thought that was Reggie
Oh,
Where you
White
gonna
out
find
there,
that
dude.
at?
Herbig he couldn't be stopped.
There was I had a plan for left tackle. Actually, I had a great plan for left tackle.
What is it?
Get Tyron Smith
Keep
back.
Tyron
Draft
Smith.
Tyler Guyton. Let
my
him
God,
develop
those stuff
under.
we can't do no more.
Because we're in a soft rebuild, and that's okay.
But this is the plan.
We're
This
going
is
to
the
try
real-
our best with the babies, and we're going to see what happens.
We like our guys.
Mhm.
We're going to try our best with the babies.
Why they keep giving Zeke chances with Rico on fire? Brandon said maybe he was tired. We don't
Rico
know.
is allowed to get tired sometimes.
C Black says Guyton should be swing tackle. Now appreciate you. Shouts out to Van Gil. Appreciate
We need
you.
to get Chuma back.
Shouts out to Trevzilla. Dropped a deuce and appreciate you. Van Gil dropped another deuce. That's like 4. Calvin Jefferson dropped another deuce. Say appreciate you. At this point, give Hunter more touch. Yeah, we feel you, bro. Cow 101. He dropped a deuce. Appreciate your player. Zach T dropped another deuce. Appreciate your player. He says my H2O is lukewarm. Salute. Travis Bush dropped a 5. He says CD says jump ball 4. Jump ball. He didn't say that for real. Want him to throw it up and give him a chance instead of going back shoulder.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
that makes sense.
That was a weird play.
I never want to throw 50-50 balls like that in general, so nah.
That was a weird
Jamal
play.
dropped a deuce. Appreciate
Bad
you,
throw.
Dow. Rayless Legend dropped another deuce, and Drummer Cam dropped 5. He says, I'm not sure if it's just because Steelers' offense isn't good. He just didn't.
but did our defense seem more physical?
Yeah. Hey, yo, look, Tyrus Wheat just played better. I think your end stepped up and played some good football. Chauncey Ghost and played some good football. Your backup guys played some good football. So, shouts out to them.
Aisha said it in a way better way
Mm-hmm.
earlier, but I typed Chauncey Golston and Tyrus Wheat have played some really boring but solid contain and run defense football.
Boring is better.
Facts.
I'm okay with it.
No pass rush whatsoever, but out there doing the rest of the job.
I was happy
Just
with
out
it.
there doing it.
Mm.
All right, we're just going to keep this thing cruising and see what in the world pops up. Fire in your questions, your comments, all the things. We got lots of super chats from you guys, and we love you. And the DLLS Cowboys postgame show rolls on next. But first, let's talk about my guys at Indeed.
Mm.
When it comes to hiring,
Find a D lineman there.
don't go
Indubitably.
searching for the one.
Mm.
Just meet your match
Oh.
with Indeed. Go match on Indeed. They're driven by the search for better, but when it comes to hiring, the best way to search for a candidate isn't to search at all. Don't search. Match with Indeed. If you need to hire, you need Indeed, your matching and hiring platform with over 350 million global monthly visitors, according to Indeed data, and a matching engine that helps you find quality candidates fast. So, yeah, if there is a quality candidate out there that can play defensive end, we need about 3 of you. And they don't just help you hire faster. 93% of employers agree. Indeed delivers the highest quality matches compared to other job sites, according to a recent Indeed survey. Listeners of this show, you can get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/AllCity. Just go to Indeed.com/AllCity right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/AllCity. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed.
Yeah.
Also, shouts out to my guys at Sleeper.
Oh,
Well, I
Lord.
tell you, I tear Sleeper up.
Yeesh.
I'm on that thing. I probably still got about 12 actives right now. So what you do is you pick whether your favorite or your least favorite or whatever players are going to have more or less than their projected stats each week. And you can see on there me picking through stuff. The Steelers really let me down tonight, but that's fine because the Cowboys won, and so I'm happy about that. But yeah, it's a ton of fun. You can make alternate numbers and change the payout things, and you do all sorts of stuff, and it's for all the sports, not just I do mostly NFL, but you can do whatever sports you want. Like I had Rico more than 25 rushing yards, Najee Harris more than 50, Dak more than 200 pass yards. Bingo! With Sleeper, more picks you combine, the more you can win. DLLS Boys is our code that'll get you up to a $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details.
Oh, Lord.
I have a quote to read from postgame.
You got a quote?
I'm scared.
Yeah, from the great. This is from the great Saad Yusuf. Tyler Smith on the game-winning touchdown pass from Dak Prescott to Jalen Tolbert.
Yeah.
Said, "Quote, bro, it was miraculous. I mean, JT literally sprained his effing nuts. Excuse me, sorry guys, sprained his nuts the play before. Comes back, makes the game winner. Unbelievable.
You do what?
He sprained
We
his
saw it.
nuts.
I synced it.
Yo, no, he was hurt. He was. I mean, there
think
was
that's called
pain.
torsion.
There-
I think
There's
I
a
had-
name for
I
it.
think my
Torsion
friend-
touchdown. Torsion
I think my friend
TD.
Ben Rogers once had a torsion injury.
Ain't no joint in there. How you spraying that?
There's muscles, you
Hold
Looney
on.
Tune.
Can
You
you sprain
Can you
spraying a
sprain
muscle?
your-
It's possible.
Let me see.
You spraying joints. Ain't no joints in there.
He strained it. probably.
Voch is correct. No, you cannot. Now this is AI,
That's
but
that blue chew.
you cannot sprain your testicles because they don't have muscles. However,
Good performance, though.
you can injure your testicles in a number of ways, including testicular torsion.
Oof.
What is that?
That's when it twists on the cord,
Yeah, no, that
cuts
ain't-
off the blood supply.
The vast difference.
Yep.
That's what they
So
call it.
yeah,
Jalen Tolbert was the vast difference in this game tonight.
he probably had torsion.
Mm.
Poor guy.
Mm. Y'all ain't listening.
Joe over there
All the
cooking.
time. What'd you say now, Joe? What'd you say? It was a what?
I said Jalen Tolbert was the vast difference in this game tonight.
It was. All right. Well,
Yep.
we no doubt that
How
Jalen.
y'all
Tolbert.
laughing at that, dog?
I
Come
mean,
on.
but no. In fairness,
Come on.
I was over here doing torsions.
Ben gone. The vast difference.
Vast.
I didn't think. I didn't.
Vast.
What's so funny?
Y'all
about
ain't go to.
Vascular.
So there's a piece in your nuts called the vast difference. He's saying Tolbert was the vast difference. Yeah, nah.
in the game.
See y'all ain't pay attention to school. That's y'all problem. That's what's wrong with y'all. Y'all
Listen,
ain't pay attention to school.
listen.
Go ahead.
I was
Pop
surprised that
would
he
love
was
it.
able to come back in that quickly.
Okay, now
Oh,
it makes
okay.
sense because I thought you were doing something slang.
Vast difference.
Vast difference.
Yeah,
It really is a
and-
thing.
and-
I thought you were saying vast difference.
No,
No,
and
no,
that's
no.
what he's saying.
And
That's
then
the
he
bars.
did, but it's because they're.
It's
that is
vast
bars.
difference.
It- it-
Cowboys
it-
land.
I'm late, but that's funny.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm late. That's funny.
Y'all ain't pay attention to school, dog.
That was good.
That's cold.
Maybe
I didn't go
I'm
to
just a
school.
girl because I still don't get it.
Let's go.
Well,
Y'all
we
get it?
Let's go.
Best not to worry about it. Hey, the Cowboys' left tackle's not any good.
Let's see what my chat say.
What?
What do you say, Tolbert?
It's
Tolbert
a nutty
was-
joke.
It's a nutty joke. Is crazy,
Oh,
y'all.
no.
That sucks. It's not fun to hurt your nuts. So.
No.
Nah.
I've never had a. We don't need to go there. We could just keep
Yeah,
doing
we can-
Cowboys
we can-
postgame.
well-
Yes.
Let me ask y'all this. Voch
Yeah.
says this. Can I ask y'all a question?
Yeah, please do.
Chat, y'all
Please
y'all
go.
let me know, right?
Mhm.
So Tyler Guyton went out in the
And it
middle
hel-
of the game.
And it helped, much like losing Brandon Cooks helped.
I know his knee was hurting, right? And we don't know how bad his knee was hurting. Did we get a little better?
Maybe, probably.
I don't think we got better when Hoffman got in the game, right? But just chat, y'all let me know, panel. Just let me know. When TJ Bass played guard and Tyler Smith played tackle, did we get a smidge better?
Here's the problem. The problem is I need to know how long after that Nick Herbig left the game because Tyler Smith couldn't pass block against him either.
Mm-hmm.
But we also knew that. He's not, that's why he's playing guard, is because you don't want him up against fantastic athletes on the outside. You want him whipping people's ass in a phone booth.
For sure.
We talked about in pregame, though, too, that, like, actually Nick Herbig was a terrible matchup for Tyler Guyton specifically.
Yeah.
Because shorter, faster,
Man.
good rip moves.
Yeah.
All of Tyler Guyton's kryptonite.
Oh yeah, but in fairness, I mean, mid-game, hey, go play left tackle right now.
No, that's
What
fine.
are we looking
That's tough.
for? What
That's
are we?
fine.
Are we
It's tough
looking
job.
for
That's fine.
perfection?
Tough job.
No, but we've seen him play
And
tackle
then
before.
also
We
too,
know
and
who
then
he is.
also too, I want to add, we also did get to see. We got to see Lipke and Ferg. They started doing some things on that left side specifically because you're not having to chip. It wasn't perfect, but I thought they were more comfortable letting Tyler Smith go one-on-one with him as opposed to what they were doing with Guyton, with sliding protection, having guys help out like crazy. I thought we saw Jake Ferguson get more involved because he wasn't having to chip as much and be involved.
I think one of the interesting takeaways from Voch's question, though, too, is because I think this is the path they went down, right? This is the development. You decided we want to get a raw offensive tackle without a lot of experience, and we're going to let him go through growing pains, right?
Yeah.
But it brings up the question, when do the growing pains in year one become too much? When is it too painful to let him grow? Is there another option where you say, you know what, we are doing well enough where with another version where we'd rather, this is giving us the best chance to win now, and we're willing to sacrifice that for the soft rebuild, for letting the growing pains go? I think that's the question
How do
moving
you feel
forward.
about that?
To me, that answer is, don't get mad at me. When is Chuma Edoga back?
Oh,
Yep.
Lord have mercy.
Jeff, I agree.
I think that's the
Practice
answer.
window will
I
probably be
agree.
opened up this week.
Because I
Come out.
believe that Chuma Edoga today is a better left tackle
I totally agree.
than Guyton.
I totally agree.
Yes. And with that, with what they're trying to do, with the Tyler Guyton thing, we talked about this last week, and I know you talked about it. Like, at some point in time, even with Tyler Smith, when he came in, we knew his hands were a problem. We were worried
Mhm.
about that. You still saw him, like, every week getting a little bit better. This don't feel like homie's getting better.
Yeah.
Like, it does not feel like he's getting better, at least improving in certain places week to week. Am I tripping?
You can
No,
make an argument this
and
was
nerves.
his worst. You
And
can make an
I-
argument this was his worst game.
I would be interested. I don't have a perspective on this because I don't do the locker room things. I would be curious, how does he seem when he talks to you guys?
Oh,
Because
I
I
can tell
would
you.
worry that he is playing poorly enough that it could be one of those things where you just, like, you start to beat yourself down and your confidence goes to crap.
One thing I do know about him from being in the locker room, even from his comments last week, he knows what people are saying about him.
Well, they all do, yeah.
No. I understand that. But some guys, to your point, see it and they hold on to it.
Yeah.
When I touched base with him this week and I kind of wanted to see where his mind was at and also kind of speak some life into him because I understood he was struggling, he is very much so aware of, like, I'm not doing this well. I need to do this well. But also, too, I think he sees what people are saying about him, and it might be weighing on him a little bit. What you got?
You said one quick thing. I did
Of
a feature. I
course.
did a feature on Tyler before the season, and if you look back at his first season in Oklahoma, he struggled mightily until the Cheez-It Bowl when he went up against Jared Verse and dominated him. And he said, honestly, he told me I didn't have confidence before that game. Then I got it from beating Jared Verse, and that gave me momentum for the rest of the season. He hasn't had a Cheez-It Bowl moment, which is a wild thing to say. But he hasn't.
I love that sentence, though.
Yeah, but he hasn't had that yet this season.
Who could be his cheese? Okay, go ahead.
Also, though, Jeff, what happens, and this is with anything, whether it's offensive line, football, basketball, boxing, whatever the sport is, when you're at practice and it's a controlled environment, all of the lessons, they stick. Because you're like, I'm at practice. My foot goes here, my hand goes here, this and this. But when you're in a game, in a fight, you go back to what you know. And what Tyler Guyton knows right now is bending at the hip, lunging, overextending, because that's what he did in college. Now, when you in college, you can do that a little bit. You can overextend on the TCU kids because they're the TCU kids. You can't overextend on Nick Herbig because Nick Herbig is bendy and he gets under that long arm bendy stuff, right?
Yeah.
So what Tyler Guyton needs is reps, and that's the hard part about this right now, because we can't give you reps because you're killing us when you kill us as you're getting these reps.
Yes.
But he needs those reps to just slow his mind down.
And I would say respectfully,
You ain't got time for that.
The right tackle's been just as bad.
It was a race to the quarterback tonight between T.J. Watt and Nick Herbig.
And that I think is the hardest part because they have two guys that could do it. Because like when you were talking about slide protections, I feel like they were doing that to Watt,
Right.
and that's why Guyton was getting destroyed. Because it's like, what are we going to do? Block?
Which side is more?
Are we going to block double everyone and have 2-man routes, or is somebody going to have to do their job?
Well, and also too in regard to what's going on with Terrence Steele. Hey, listen, we can talk about the quarterback and the decision making. If you got pressure coming from both sides, that's different. There were times that I wanted Dak to step up in the pocket, maybe be able to see the field a little bit better, even take off at a couple times. But he is under duress almost every play coming from the tackles. And so, he does look a little sped up, and he has looked a little sped up.
I want him to be damn near perfect, and because the challenge, I think the biggest challenge that Dak has is over the last couple of years, the best part about their offense has been the things that happen. Mike McCarthy would give you 2.7.
Yeah.
After 2.7, it's
2.3.
Dak extends 2.3.
Yeah, 2.3.
Dak extends. We make a play, and that's a huge part of the offense, especially with guys hurt and with a roster that Jerry Jones said to his face, "Good luck." It's like I gotta make plays, and so then like the fumble, the throw to CD, and I'll be interested to hear any context that they might have on that because that was just an awful ball. Everything about it was bad.
Sure.
But the fumble one, I was just like, you got to know. You have to get rid of that ball.
Yeah.
Like we're about to kick a field goal, take the lead. I know you want touchdowns. Get rid of the ball and accept the points and the lead in the football game. Like, I want him to be damn near perfect at those things, but I understand that he's also like, I'm what we got.
Yeah.
Like, I have to do all these things. And so, it's a tough spot. But thankfully he touchdowned at the end. Can I do the Die Hard and then Clarence? How about we do that? All right, Clarence Hill. Let's see what sort of clarity we can get from what some of the guys have said out there after the game in Pittsburgh. Our very own Clarence Hill is out there. So that'll be coming up next on the Cowboys DLLS postgame show. But I want to encourage you to do a few things. One, I want to encourage you, if you are watching on the great Voch Lombardi's channel, if you're watching on the OK Jeff Cavanaugh's channel, also please follow along at youtube.com/@DLLS_sports. And that way you'll catch our daily show that we do from this wonderful studio. And I want to encourage people to sign up to be a DLLS diehard. You go to alldlls.com, you sign up to be a diehard, and what you do is you get hooked up. You get discounts on things like merch, really cool events that we're going to do. We're setting some up right now. Oh, it's going to be so good. 20% off merch, 20% off events, free t-shirt every year, and the merches, those shirts are badass. We got badass stuff.
We do.
We can say ass. We got badass stuff. You already know that we do shows every day for every sports team around here, but you can get access to our members-only Discord and your sweet little carrying card. All of those things. Sign up to be a diehard. AllDLLS.com. Thank you. That's my last paper.
You want to win? Put pop.
Let's check in with Clarence Hill. Let's see. And if you could do me a huge favor, Katya, pull up Clarence.
Yeah.
And play for him what I think should be his intro.
You want to win? Put pop.
Huh? You want to win? Put pop in.
Hey, Pop. I know you're
I mean, first, Voch, don't listen to them. Don't buy into this foolishness. Don't, Voch. Listen, Voch. Okay, don't buy into this foolishness. Don't buy into this foolishness. Don't do this.
Don't goosh his name.
Listen, you guys. I'm trying to bring you information, and you starting with this foolishness. What's up, guys? How you doing?
You're right. That was very unfair, but I was really happy because we wanted Katya to do that, and it was a big master plan of ours. Because like we had, you want to win, put chill in, but we also had him referring to himself as pop, and we wanted to splice them together, and then we did. What did we?
Shout out to Cat.
What did we learn? What have we learned? What have you heard? What's going on?
It's late, man. It's late. This is the latest day of an NFL game in NFL history. You're starting with the game in London to the Cowboys game ending at 12:59 Eastern, the longest day in NFL history. And what a day it was for the Cowboys. We knew it was a must-win. We talked about it being a must-win And in the end of the day, they got it done. One reason I picked the Cowboys to win, we talked about during the week, is because I thought the Steelers were bad, and they showed you they are a bad football team. I don't care what their record says. And the Cowboys were the better team most of the day. They moved the ball up and down the field. Certainly, they should have scored more. Not for the issue, turnovers in the red zone, fumbles in the red zone, interceptions by Dak Prescott. But in the end, Dak Prescott was the difference in the game. And he talked about that. Mike McCarthy talked about that. It's interesting. Dak Prescott gave Mike McCarthy his first game ball ever. He's never gotten a game ball. He got his first game ball ever after this win tonight at home in Pittsburgh. It meant a lot to him. It meant a lot to the Cowboys. Jalen Tolbert, Jesse Holly's man, caught the game winner one play after getting hit in the balls. That's why he was out. That's what they said. That's why he was out. That's why he was out that play. Dak threw the low pass, and that's why he was out. He got hit in the balls. And then to come back in
Not the goal
and get whatever you want to call it, that's what happened. He got hit to come back in and get that game-winning touchdown when obviously CD was the decoy. The defense was focused on CD, and Dak talked about the trust they've had with Tolbert and what he's done in training camp, and they were really confident. Remember, I talked all week. Dak said they could make plays in the passing game. They threw the ball all over the field. Look at the numbers. They threw the ball well tonight. If you take the turnovers out, they really had success passing the ball.
Clarence, can I ask a follow-up question to a journalist? You, the journalist?
Sure. Yes, sir.
Do you know how Jalen Tolbert's balls are now?
I'm not doing this. Clearly, they were good enough for him to come back in and get the game-winning touchdown pass, to catch the game-winning. And that was a great catch. It was a great throw, but that was a strong-handed catch. Strong hands, because they were trying to knock that ball. A great catch by Jalen Tolbert. Also, the biggest play in the game outside of that was Dak jumping on that fumble. Rico Dowdle fumbled. Rico said he thanked Dak. He was like, he thanked him. But you go back and look at Cam Newton in the Super Bowl not jumping on that ball. Okay, Dak is the guy who he's consistent. He gives it his all. He had a bad game, but Dak jumped on that ball, did not blink on that fourth quarter in that last drive. That's who Dak is.
Any updates injury-wise on Marshawn Kneeland, Clarence?
Or Tolbert?
No updates on Neal. We got a Tolbert update, but no updates on Neal. Clearly, it did look good. But again, that showed you resilience of this team. You talk about being without Parsons and being without Lawrence, and then you lose Nealon early in the game, and you basically have three defensive ends the rest of the game. And they were going to play some of the linebackers that needed that defensive end. They were getting some linebackers ready. They had 6 linebackers up. To play a lot of special teams, so to get some of the linebackers ready to do that. Interesting note, offensively, when Guyton went out, the Cowboys did not blink putting Tyler Smith at left tackle. They started doing that at the end of training camp. When Tyler Smith missed the end of training camp, they start preparing. When Guyton was injured late in training camp, they start preparing Tyler Smith to move to left tackle if need be. Of course, it tells you all you need to know about Austin Richards and Walesko and some of the other left tackles that they had no confidence in to be the swing tackle, but clearly Tyler Smith was the option to go to tackle. If something happened to Tyler Guyton, I think the pass blocking was great when Tyler Smith moved to left tackle. You look at what they did, and also, and Mike McCarthy talked about that drive. They had no doubt that they were going to drive down the field and score, but what they were trying to do was manage the game, manage the clock, and also manage their blocking because they didn't want T.J. Watt to wreck the game. They certainly had him chipped on the last play, but T.J. Watt had some plays early. We did not hear from him late in the fourth quarter. The Cowboys did a good job handling T.J. Watt to score those points at the end of the game.
Thank you, Clarence. We love you. Safe travels.
Get some sleep.
I'm going to try. I got it right now. Enjoy you guys.
Dear.
See you later, Unc.
Bye, Clarence.
Boy, there would be nothing worse than Joe mentioned it. There's nothing worse, especially for football, where there's only 17 of them, and you don't know who's going to win until the very end. Dude. You have to write a story. Because, we are sitting there thinking about what is the little 3-word thing going to be on our YouTube thumbnail. People got to write entire stories about a game and don't know who's going to win until 2 seconds left.
So we do at DLLS.com, we have a takeaway story the moment the game goes to final every single game, right?
Did you have 2 of them?
I had multiple going today, but a little behind the scenes. One of my takeaways is, yes, Rico Dowdle deserves to be running back, the clear starting running back.
And then he fumbled.
And then I had to put at the end. I was like, oh, despite the fumble that he had at the end, I was just like,
keeping you busy, boy.
I was like,
Never
oh, the
over.
takeaway just got a lot less cool.
I
But-
tell you, Dak Prescott really needed to play better in a game that they had. Hold on, final drive, son of a bitch.
Oh yeah, no, I had couldn't finish. It's because I couldn't finish drives, and then I'm like, oh wait, then they just finished the win. So yeah, it's fun.
That's
Behind the
fun.
scenes, journalism, writing, enjoy it.
You want to rock some super chats?
Yeah.
What you got, Voch?
And if I miss y'all, I'm gonna read them on the next show that I do over on my channel.
If you miss it, yeah, just huge, bigger donation next time.
Let's see. Rock Drums, appreciate you. He says, love seeing Jay Lu's fight. What a dog. Yeah, man. Jay Lu's
He's a dog.
Yeah, Jay Lu don't take
scrapping.
no nonsense. Let's see. Let's go ahead and run through them a little bit here. Let's see what we got.
Yes, he did.
Adrian Dyson says, people complain about Dak turning the ball over, need to chill. Rodgers did the same thing today and lost. Appreciate you, brother Adrian. BD Gray dropped the dub in there. Appreciate you, sir. I'm going to read that tomorrow, man. Look at the piece, man. Appreciate you. Wild Nuts dropped 5 and says, the O-line looked better with Tyler Smith at left tackle. Should we keep him there? If so, who plays left guard? TJ Bass. So it's a Tyler G or Bass. We are not putting Guyton at guard at all. That is not how that works. KG, what up? He says, shouts out to the Cowboys for snatching victory from the jaws of defeat because they did their damnness to find a creative way to give the game away.
Yeah,
Appreciate
they didn't want to
KG.
win, but they did, and that's good.
For sure. Charges 12-13. Appreciate you for tapping in on the super chat there. Appreciate you. Wild Nuts dropped another 5 and says, every time I see the ball, every time I see
left somebody's
Blank
name
touched
out.
the ball.
Zeke touch the ball, I get pissed. He has no, he's definitely talking about Zeke. He has no juice, like you mixing the little bit of juice at the bottom of the bottle with water. Zeke is deleted juice. Diluted. Appreciate you. Charges 12-13 with a 5. Appreciate you. He says low-key important. How was Mozzie?
Tell you tomorrow.
We'll see.
We don't know
I think he
yet.
was fine.
We'll
but-
see. I mean, linebackers were fine, so we assume Mize was fine. Blue Star Gang dropped a dub up in that joint. Appreciate you, sir. He says 4 came through when it mattered most.
You don't have to say the last part.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
just
okay.
go
You guys
roll
wanna
right
go
by
ahead.
that.
But appreciate you though, bro. Uptown Degree drop 5 says Turpin need to be our wide receiver 3. He's our Shaheed at this point.
Okay, well, I agree with the first half.
He could be.
I agree with the
I
first
agree
half.
with that first
I
part.
see the vision.
They're
I
both
agree with
fast.
that first part. Appreciate you though, Uptime and Michael Aldridge dropped the dub in there. Appreciate you. So I'm gonna go ahead and read that on my next stream. I appreciate you, man. I love you, dog. You know what I'm saying? Wild Nuts.
So much wild
With another 5,
nuts.
that's 15 altogether. He says, I feel Mike overthinks and understands that a lot, or thinks a lot of punctuation, y'all, of the situation. There's no middle. Okay, he either overthinks or he underthinks
Underthinks
the situation.
We just added some extra.
Appreciate you, brother. Larry Curry dropped a 5. Appreciate you, man. He says, I know we didn't have a pass rush, but the defensive end play looked way better.
Except
would
for
y'all
the
rather
pass-
have that? Would y'all rather have defensive ends that can't pass rush, but the run defense is fine? But,
Against Justin Fields, yes.
Yes.
Against the NFL, no.
or the guys that
Next
can pass
week, I
rush
want to
their
get to
ass
that
off.
quarterback.
You need
It's
both.
Dante Fowler and Dorrance Armstrong or Tyrus Wheat and Chauncey Ghost. Make your pick.
I don't want to.
KC Podcast from the Closet dropped their dudes. Appreciate you. Said the D played this one. I don't think they did without 9 and 11. Appreciate you though. He says Zim is that dude. Appreciate you, KC.
Oh, we're back on Zim now.
Roman Wolf
He
Game
working
dropped the
what he
dub.
got.
Appreciate you, man. I'm gonna go ahead and read it. He says since Cleveland is burning, trade for Myles Garrett. No, they ain't giving him
Sure,
nothing.
I'm in.
That's fantasy football, dog.
We like our guys.
Cody dropped the deuce. Appreciate you, dog. Love you to pieces. Love you to pieces. And Wild Nuts with another 5. That's 25 altogether. That's a Royale
Why
with
you
cheese.
guys-
I think that was the same one. It was the juice one.
He said every time he copy and pasted his last
Oh.
one. Appreciate you, bro.
You're just trying to make sure he got in.
Randy Walker dropped 5 and says Zeke couldn't lift his shoulder up pregame to get his pads on. He's
There you go.
going to
There's
IR.
your injury.
Oh yeah. Zeke allegedly couldn't
Get
put
ready.
his pads on. I feel you, bro.
Get ready.
I feel you. How many more? We got a lot more.
No, let's just.
We have a lot more?
Hey, look, I'm gonna read them on my next post game show. I love y'all to pieces. I'm gonna get to all of them on the post game show. It is 1:13 Central. So if you in the DMV or anything like that, you know we got a lot of Cowboy fans in the Carolinas.
We
Y'all
appreciate
look lit.
Dak watching though.
What'd he say?
Dak's
Oh, yeah,
in the
there's Dak
super chat.
Prescott.
He said, "Wasn't my best game." but when it mattered the most, we got it done.
Yes,
Appreciate
you
it,
did.
folks.
Yeah, so we appreciate
Appreciate it,
I
folks.
just wanted to see
Anything
that.
ridiculously huge to Super Chat
This
wise?
is the
There's a
bottom. You can knock
$10,
them
yeah.
2 tens. You can knock them 2 tens.
There's
Yeah, look.
McCarthy's situation. Play calling is horrible. What do you think Spanford's role could be moving forward? He looked good. He didn't look good.
Yeah, Brevin upset me, man.
The
Brevin
tight
upset
ends
me.
aren't good.
I
That's
love y'all
not
to
fair.
pieces. I will read any super chats that I missed on my next post game, on my next live stream. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all.
We are getting out of here because it is very late. And if you are an audio person, by the way, these will always be on wherever you listen to your podcast
For
as
sure.
well. Please make sure that you're subscribed to the DLLS feed. What do you
You're going to be in traffic in Dallas anyway if you live here.
right
You're gonna
now?
be in traffic anyway. No, I'm saying in
75
general.
always has
You
traffic.
might as well
Oh.
just listen to us in your ears so you
Yeah.
can drive safely.
Mm.
You don't
Yeah.
download the podcast.
Yeah. Winning is better than losing. Remember, you have no idea what anyone's going through. So be cool to everyone. We love you. Be easy.
Doski Woski.
Peace,
Bye.
Whiskey.
Vast difference.
We all silly like the mayor.